Have you ever listened to psychic mediums and everything turns out to be light and bright and all is well? Have you then realized that there's more to reveal, that maybe something is missing, something raw? Welcome to Eye of Soul Radio with me, Psychic Medium Jaime. Journey to the raw side of spirit during this live call-in show. I'm a mother, medium, Reiki master, spiritual connector, and meditation guru. I provide a safe space for people to turn when they are scared and need a non-judgmental heart. Eye of Soul Radio allows you to receive spiritual guidance and empowering self. We get real. We reach everyone and exclude no one. Are you ready to look at the raw side of spirit with me? This show is leaving nothing off limits. Eye of Soul Radio starts now. Hello, everybody. I am Psychic Medium Jaime, and you are listening and watching Eye of Soul Radio. Tonight's episode, if you will, is going to be based off of past lives, Akashic records, where did I come from, who am I, who was I? All of those answers will come this evening. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of your answers, but you know what? I'm going to be able to kind of give you the basics tonight. And this is coming, again, you guys, from my perception. So all of our shows are from my perception, or if you watch Shades of Spirit, it's from our perception, Spirit Walker Nicole and myself. It is things that we've learned. Sometimes we've learned it from others. Sometimes we've learned it from Spirit and our spirit guides and our angels. And sometimes it's just that clear cognizance of inner knowing and feeling that gut check. We have taken classes over the course of time. I started taking classes in my mid-20s, and I took what resonated with me and worked with that and evolved it, and what didn't, that was fine because it was a little piece of insight from someone else. Past lives are a little bit different, right? Right now, we are in a deep sense of self-reflection. We are finally starting to emerge out of this fog, haze, whatever you want to call it, with the pandemic, right? People are starting to, if you're vaccinators, they're getting vaccinated. If you're not, that's cool as well. But things are starting to open up, right? We're starting to see movement again. At the same time, we're starting to see movement within Mother Earth. So if you're over here in the United States, we're going through spring, right? Happy spring equinox to all of you, a couple days late. But we're starting to see that transition, that movement, that momentum. But we still have had this deep sense of winter, pretty much a full year of winter, if you will. And so we go inward and we find, that we're wondering where we came from, what happened to us before this life. For those of you that are into the show, you're probably watching it and interested in past lives and believe in reincarnation. If you are unsure, cool, join in, take what resonates with you. But when we start questioning that, we start wondering sometimes, do our barriers stem from past lives for creating the ultimate life in this life, right? Because sometimes we cannot find the answers. Why am I not moving forward? Why is this not working out for me the way that it should be? Some of you also want to know who you were. So I love those past life readings, right? While others want to complete or finish completing a cycle in which we've had in past lives in order to get rid of it and move forward in this life. And so those are things that we're going to be talking about this evening. Past lives, so I want you guys to pay attention to this, are theories that cannot be proven and it cannot be disproven, just like the majority of what we do in the spirit world. All I can do for you is in a reading is get validation, give you clarity, give you a place to start from if you're starting from scratch, or to help ease your process into that healing modality. But we can't prove that it's real. We can't prove that it's not. But you know what? Time and time again, that's why I do these readings. I don't do something if I don't fully back it and I'm not fully genuine and authentic in it. So for me, I continue doing this because of the validation that I get in these readings. There are two ways that you can kind of tap into, if you want to call it your book of life, right? And for me, I love that term because the way I see it when I go in to find your records or my own is through books. It's an amazing process, right? So I will head to my own, what I call Hall of Records, right? Back in the day, I used to head into a Hall of Records with my guides, and it would be a different process. But now I've created my own based on the knowledge that I have and the understanding that I have. And I will sit down with my spirit team in this hall and ask to see the books I'm supposed to pay attention to. And I'm not going to lie, it's like a Harry Potter moment. I get kind of geeked out when it happens every single time, but all of a sudden the books start flying off the shelves. It's amazing to watch. My team is all around me. Now, if I'm working with one of you, my team stands behind me, your team comes in front. So it forms a circle so that we're all together in that energy. And these books start coming off the shelves, and sometimes they're colors, and sometimes their titles are glowing. Sometimes the titles are on fire. I'm learning to understand what these mean and represent. If you have a book that comes through that has letters and fire, I know I have to go to that one because it's time for releasing. If you have one that's glowing, it's a time for leading and lighting your path. It's a really cool process. But I'm going to tell you, it has taken me a long time to get to that place, right? And so when I do that, I'm able to kind of tap into your either Akashic records or your past lives. Now, we did take an Akashic records class, and what I found is that there was some really good tips on how to get into it, how to move through the energy, guides to connect with, but it's all things that I had already been doing, and I just wasn't aware. So we will take educational classes and find that a lot of times it's what we're already doing because we're following our intuition, but we need to move forward, right? We need to understand how that was processed. So that's kind of where it came about for me. I can enter your Akashic records and go into a past life if need be for things that we want to address. Other times, I just jump into your past life with the help of your spirit team. So you guys know I'm all about energy. And what I do is I will sit down before the past life reading. I connect with your spirit team, and I'm very specific on my intentions of what I want to be able to achieve in that session. And I have them take me with me on that journey. Some people will go to a past life regression session, right, with a hypnotherapist. And that's when they kind of take you into that deep meditative state, almost a trance-like state to kind of prompt you to recall memories that are really buried deep down in your subconscious. Like with anything, I want you guys to trust your gut. You can be led in those type of sessions. You can be led in these type of sessions. It's finding someone that you can work with, that you trust, that resonates with you on that deep soul level. Finding a well-respected practitioner in these particular fields is extremely important, not to be misled, right? Because what's going to happen is sometimes we're going to be led in one direction and not feel it and not understand it. Our existence right now is not linear either. Our identity is not on a timeline stamped. Ding, this is who you are this life. Ding, this is who you were in that life, right? It starts at birth and ends at death. That is our sequence for this life. Except remember that your soul carries all the other lives with it. So when you go back into spirit form, we are no longer in that human form, and we're no longer stamped into that year, the date you were born, the time you were born. We now are a process of all of those lives together, which then forms those Akashic records as well. When we can do that, we are holding the entire soul's history, past, present, and future in these records, right? In our past lives. If you are a good psychic, I truly believe you can bypass the Akashic records to jump directly into a past life. But remember, the Akashic records has their own system. You can have Akashic records for your business. You can have Akashic records for your animals, your home, the land, your office. Everything that has had a thought put out there has a record now. So that's what's really cool about those readings is they're a little bit different. But sometimes we want to get into that past life energy, and we can do it through that way. But for me, it's just about connecting at a snap, at a drop of a hat, and being able to move into that space with your team and building that relationship with them to see directly from your perspective. So when I do these, I am telling you the story of what they want you to know in order to let go to move forward in this life, but I am seeing it from your eyes. So it's almost like I turn into you. I know that sounds bizarre and crazy. It's not a Whoopi Goldberg moment for Ghost. It's not that. But it is. I am actually living in that space. I am feeling what you're feeling. I'm going through that. But I have learned that that process is so that I can help transmute that energy to be able to help you heal. I'm not healing for you. You are doing that work. But giving you the information, showing you how it lines up in this life, allowing myself to help be that transmuter, if you will, it allows us to move that energy quicker. And for me, it's all about moving in, get it done, let's get it out. You're not going to book 16 sessions with me on that same past life because we are going to help you work through that, meaning myself, my spirit team, and your spirit team. So that's how that kind of works for me. You guys, I also am doing some past life readings. They're quick jump in, jump out type of thing. I have 4 decks that I use for my past life readings that have all been attuned today for your past life information, not for, present day. So you just got to give a shout out in the comments if you are looking for that, and I will filter those in today as well. But I really want you guys to get a grasp of what this is all about, right? So for me, I blend the Akashic records and past life records or past life sessions into one. It's all into my healing work. And it is to help bring closure and healing from those past lives that you may have carried, any lower vibrations, any imprints, any stuck energy, any barriers into this life. So remember, we don't have to live that same life over and over and over again, right? Until we get it right. There are certain things that are in that life that what we can do is we will say, okay, I may not have mastered that last life. I will take and finish learning that lesson in the next, right? And that's a big thing for us. And that's why we hold this energy within. And sometimes it gets stuck in those chakra lines. It gets stuck. We can't move forward. We're wondering why the progress is taking so damn long. Well, that's why, is because we're holding little fragments of that to finish learning the lesson. Some of us will learn lessons up in spirit, and so we don't have to come back and do that. Again, this is my perspective. But a lot of us still have a lot to learn, growth, right? So that is what's happening, is that we're able to help find that soul's evolution and continue to help it growing. And yes, that soul's connected to you in that human form. When used as an opportunity, we can help move out ancestral karmic energy, karmic illness, right? Which then can affect our physical body. It helps bring clarity and self-awareness to what those barriers are and has the potential to really move out that karmic energy from that space. Anytime our consciousness expands in this way, we increase our potential for our self-evolution. So if you take anything away right now, write down self-evolution, because that's what we are doing. We are moving into that energy to continue to grow, to continue to spiritually ascend. If you think about it, we have been reincarnating for a very long time as a human race. And so we should be on a much higher spiritual plane by this point than we were before. And that is tough because now we're trying to balance the human form with the spirit form. And that gets to be a rocky place within. So what I want to do is I will take a break, give you guys a second to catch up with me here. I'm throwing a lot of information out, which is why I love this is made into a podcast. You can find us on pretty much any podcast search engine. Type in I Have Soul Radio or even Shades of Spirit and re-listen to these. It's on transformationtalkradio.com. It's on our website, shadesofspirit.com, and both Facebook pages. So you can join us on any of those to go back and listen to these, because some of these are ones you're going to have to process as time goes on. Also, you guys, go to shadesofspirit.com. I have my $75 1-hour reading special. And my past life readings run about an hour to an hour and a half. I can do those virtually. I can do those, in person when I start taking clients back in person. But it's all about moving into your energy and sitting in that space and helping you work through what it is we're looking for. And so I have one scheduled at 7:00 tonight. Hey, my client out there, I shouldn't tell you. You should just, type in here that you want some information. No, I'm just kidding. We're really going to get deep into that evolution of that soul growth and what's stopping or causing those barriers within tonight for this client, which is going to be really exciting to see some of this freeing energy come out. Anywho, let me know if you are interested in a reading. I'll do as many as I possibly can, as long as giving you a whole bunch more information, and I will see you right after this break.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat. Hey, are you loving Shades of Spirit Radio? Well, mark your calendars. Shades of Spirit goes live in a new time spot every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time on TransformationTalkRadio.com. What? Yeah, you heard that right. Psychic Medium Jaime and Spirit Walker Nicole, 5 p.m. every Wednesday. Live readings, giveaways, oracle cards, and lots of fun. So be there. Call into the show at 1-800-930-2819 and visit shadesofspirit.com.
Get empowered on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Healing has a ripple effect. One person's healing affects everyone around them. This is where the power of sharing our stories can be so important. Tune in to Playing on the Edge Radio with Megan Edge each month on Transformation Talk Radio as Megan provides you with ways of sustaining radical and powerful changes in your life. Enact the power of radical change. To find out more about Megan Edge, visit her website at meganedge.ca.
Are you feeling lost or unmotivated, stuck and not sure what to do next? David George Brooke has exactly what you need on That Gratitude Guy podcast. David George Brooke is a speaker, best-selling author, and life coach here to share stories of motivation and inspiration to help you get unstuck and achieve great things by living with gratitude. Live every first and third Friday at 12:30 Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
We remember a time when you could simply form a thought and it would manifest. The harmony was forgotten, but it is returning now. The Power of Inspiration and Awakening Radio with Julia Griffin on TransformationTalkRadio.com each second and fourth Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific will take you on adventures through the heart and spirit exploring who we once were. This intuitive healer studied under the guidance of wolves, learning from their wisdom to master a higher frequency for a new state of mind. Visit OneTrueSelf.com.
Are you ready to let go of the I can'ts that are holding you down? Valerie Trujillo invites you to join her community on a mission to collectively heal as a tribe, where your vulnerability is heard and reciprocated. So tune in to Love and Light with the Crystal Blue Oracle every second and fourth Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more information about Valerie and her work, visit crystalblueoracle.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Yes, I am prepping. I'm getting all your names. Jacob, my producer, is fantastic. He's typing away at there. Again, remember, this is only an hour show. I can only do so many at one time. I feel like this is going to become a Facebook Live thing, just to get you guys a taste of what I offer, what we can do, how we can tap into that. So the fact that you guys let me know. I'm just kind of letting Spirit pick names out, so it's not going in any order. It's just kind of random here. But connecting with our past lives is a big thing because it does give us clarity, right? I want to warn you guys a couple of things, though. When you get a past life reading from anybody, including myself, be aware that this is a specialized gift to work with, right? Anybody can throw up that they can do anything. Let's be honest. I can say that I am a world professional soccer player until someone calls me out on it. And they're going to see that with my two knees, I can't even run 3 yards, let alone try and kick a ball and, pivot. This is what I need you guys to do, is to really trust your gut. Read the reviews. Get to know the person before you book these appointments. Because when you want to get into a specialty, Akashic records, past life readings, Reiki sessions, just psychic readings versus intuitive readings versus mediumship readings. You got to know if they're legit. And you know what? Sometimes we all get duped. I know I have, but that's what's made me learn and how to not do that with my clients. But if your reading with your practitioner starts out with this, okay? So Vicki Bauer, you're going to be my first one. So let's just say this is not Vicki's information, okay? Hypothetically speaking. So I've got Vicki, your information's in here, and I have a Sheena Dawn. I've got a card for you as well. I'm doing lots of readings, you guys, so don't worry about that. Vicki, if I came to you and said, welcome to your past life reading, what is it that you would like to know? And you say to me, I cannot figure out why. And again, this is not Vicki's reading. She has a happy marriage. But I can't understand why, I keep finding these jerks of men to either date. I was married to one, there's been abuse in my life. Like, what the heck is going on, right? So this is how this could go. I could sit down and say, okay, well, I'm going to give you this information. In the 1500s, you were a female again, and it was about 1503. And your name was, Gretchen. You lived in Sweden. I can't come up with your last name. But also, what I'm seeing here is that, you were abused. You were abused by your father, and then you were a poor family, and so you were married off into this other family so we could have land. And, your husband was also really abusive as well. And so you have this karmic debt that you just keep cycling through. And now you're still paying for that. Holy crap. Would you not be like, I've wasted 15, 16, 17, 500 years on repeating the cycle? Oh my gosh. So don't let someone just start to create a story, right? I'm not saying everybody does, but what I'm saying is be cautious when you're sitting with someone. You got to make sure it feels right and that you really are in alignment with what they're saying, because they can go to the extreme and it can become a very good story. And that's why I really want you guys to pay attention to that information. Also, the thing for me is when we start labeling lives, and I use the air quotes because a lot of people do. The first past life reading I ever did, I tried to number their life. Okay, well, this, they're kind of showing me a 3. Well, I got into the reading and realized what the 3 meant. And by the end, I go, you know what? I cannot tell you that this was life path 3 for you. I know you're looking for all these details, but I'm not going to put your life path in a number, because guess what, you guys? We have been living as a human race. I mean, Google it. There are many different versions. You might see 300,000 years. You might see, 4.2 million years. You might see 2.4 billion years. The human race has been around a very, very long time. So if somebody's going to sit there and tell you that you've had a life and it's been your life number 3, and this is what happened, and you were a, Gregorian princess, and you were, wealthy, and you had all these things, and you're walking around like, yeah, guess what? Which life path 3 were you on? I am huge in numerology. You guys know that. And I do believe in life cycles. I do believe that we need to learn certain lessons, multiple lives, in order to do that, in order to reach enlightenment of that stage. And then we can decide if we want to come back and do it all again, start over, continue the ascension. Do we want to go somewhere else? Hey, do you want to go to a different planet? Whatever it might be. Do you want to work in spirit for a while? But if you think about reincarnation, we have been doing this for hundreds of thousands, if not millions, if not billions of years. So I'm not discounting any of you that have had readings and been told that life path 5 was X, Y, and Z. It very well might have been. But I want you to think about, was it within the section, or could it have been hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, right? So just little tips on what I've learned, what I've experienced, what I've tapped into in my perspective of these readings. So I will not give you a number. If you're looking for someone that's going to give you a number, give you your first name, your last name, the date you were born, every single solitary detail. I'm not going to do that because they won't allow me to see that. That's not what's important. It's the principle of it. So let me show you. So Vicky, let's come back to you. Again, that was not Vicky's life. This is one of Vicky's past lives. I've asked your team to tune in and to give me a card, and I'm using one of my Akashic Tarot decks. And it's the Fated Meeting card, which is cracking me up because we're talking about relationships and I'm saying this isn't Vicky. And then I get the Fated Meeting card and it's a man and a woman over here. But that's neither here nor there. What I love about this is it says you're coming to a very important relationship in your life. And they're showing me that in a past life, the relationship that you had with yourself was one of pain. And it was pain that you inflicted upon yourself. You were very conflicted about who you were, what you wanted to do, and where you wanted to go. The way that they're showing me is they'll show me the way you were dressed. And this was definitely very proper looking clothing and attire. So I am going to go that this would be somewhere in this past sequence for you. They're showing me a cobblestone streets and it's raining. So I'm going to go kind of into where I would picture like England to be almost. The conflict within is because you were expected to be in a certain life. You were expected to kind of follow the family pattern, and yet you didn't. and you were finding relationships, both family and friends, nothing fit. And all you really wanted to do was escape. All you really wanted to do was kind of live that dream of being free. You just couldn't be free. And so in this life, if you're experiencing anything where you feel like you're just still conflicted with who you are or the freedom within, it's time for you to go into this past life, ask your spirit team to come in and do a meditation with you, and to be able to cut the cords of the all eyes on you. Right? Everybody staring at you, everybody expecting things of you. I think that you have cut a lot of that off in this life is what they're showing, because, you've cut out the expectations of a lot of people because you're standing in your own power, which is fantastic. Again, I use these cards just as guidelines, just as I would if I was reading you for this life. It says karma from past lives may have brought you together. And that is in a relationship that's coming up in your life. So you have not met this person. Again, I know you, Keith, you're married. It's not a romantic relationship. It's just a relationship with someone that can bring the rest of this energy out, bring you into a different vibration. New connections, new tribe members is what they're showing me. It says it is important for you both to stay alert, and it's a collective growth. So I love that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone that you're meeting in this field that you are going to continue that ascension with, taking you into their group as well. I hear the more the merrier, but it's about that self-acceptance and allowing yourself to be one with who you are on all levels. And it was something that you weren't able to achieve in that life. Now, I can date somewhere in that 1700s range. I'm not going to be able to give you a specific date because of the way of the dress, the time period, the way the streets looked. But definitely going in now and connecting with your spirit team on this past life is going to help you move through into that next level. That fated meeting is all about your growth into what's up and coming. So it's for the future. So this is more of like a future. It's just interesting. Clean up a little bit of that energy within from that past life, but it's about that progression moving forward, which I absolutely love. I know I feel like I'm rambling, and then I get really hot when I move into past lives because I have to bounce back and forth. Again, these are snippets. You guys, if we were going to do a full reading, it would be more cards. It would be automatic writing with me. It would be giving you that story, getting more details of it, what was going on, who was around. But again, this is a radio show, so I can only do a snippet for you. But I'm going to leave you with that. So if any of this resonates, though, I would love to hear from you in the comments because I always go back and read the comments on Facebook when we're done. Because I like to connect with you guys on that level. So I hope you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from when it comes down to that. A lot of times I believe that, we have that past life trauma, that we carry some of that energy in. And for me, it's to help move that energy out for you to heal, right? And being able to connect on that level is so important. I love it. She says, this is cool. I will do exactly what you say. And it totally resonates with me. Thank you for the validation. Definitely, always appreciate that. So when we come back, I've got Sheena Dawn. I've got your card pulled. I'm going to do some more readings, so don't worry about that. And we're going to talk about how energy does work into all of this and how easy it is for you to actually do this on your own as well. Even I have had readings done on me because it's hard to read ourselves, right? But I want you just to take away that thought of like, I'm sitting here today. You guys are sitting here today. And we very well could have been here 1 million years ago. We could have been right at the beginning of time, that evolution. And some of you are newer to this. You did not start, right? In spirit, what my guides told me today before I go to break is that we are in constant evolution, so that we are constantly being created, if you will, right? Now, this has nothing to do with religion or creation. I drive people crazy because I speak in terms of merging the two. I don't know how else to do it. That's my perception. But we are constantly being created to evolve, right? So those of us that are old souls, I know you guys have heard that term before, our progress has been slow and steady, and now we're starting to ramp up, and that's why we feel the way we do inside. And these newer souls are out the gate running, and they're making mistakes right and left in these past lives, but they're gathering up those tools, they're learning, and they're blowing through it. And that's where you can start to see that within even your own family lines. So think about that for a minute. I will be right back, and I will kick it off with Sheena Dawn's past life reading right after this break. Hey everybody, this is Psychic Medium Jaime, and boy do I have a gift for you to help you get through March Madness. You've all said you're tired of jumping through hoops, so for the month of March, my gift to all of you is my full hour sessions are now half off. Psychic readings, oracle card readings, connect with your loved ones, and gain spiritual guidance from your spirit team. So get ready to step in and move from March Madness to March Manifestation together. Book at shadesofspirit.com or call me at 858-684-7575.
You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
When was the last time you had that feeling that you knew something, but you couldn't explain how you knew it? How powerful would it be for your life and business if you could consciously tap into that magic within you? What if you could remember that there's something supernatural about you? Tune in to Absolute Alignment with Christelle Biga when success feels easy. Every first and third Friday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Are you trying to lose weight but feel guilty for eating your favorite foods? Feeling deprived and resentful makes for results that aren't sustainable. Join Adrienne Craig every second and fourth Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com for her show Master Your Mindset for a Weight Loss Breakthrough. Learn to love the journey and watch yourself succeed. For more information about Adrienne or to work with her personally, visit lifecanyon.com.
It's your turn to reclaim your life. Experience the unmitigated joy of breathing life into your own passions, into your own purpose. With me, life coach Ricky Schwartz at myturnlifecoaching.com. In the meantime, tune into my show, My Turn Life Coaching, live every second and fourth Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Are you ready to invest in your best self? Join Sabrina Wright as she shares tools for creating joy and balance in your life every single day. Sabrina is here to help you become your greatest advocate and empower you to make decisions that will help you live your best life. The Live the Good Life Show, connecting your physical and spiritual self, every second Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Find Sabrina at the right, WRIGHT, balance.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Eye of Soul Radio. I am Psychic Medium Jaime. I love this topic. I really do. Now, for those of you that are first timers, awesome. Welcome. Continue to follow us. Continue to join us. You can find us at Shades of Spirit LLC. We also have a website, shadesofspirit.com. We are on podcasts. We are on Transformation Talk Radio. We do all sorts of cool stuff. And when I say we, I also have Shades of Spirit. That is Wednesdays at 5 p.m. with Spirit Walker Nicole, an intuitive angel medium that I co-own and work with on a regular basis. And our whole view and our whole goal is to get the word out in all aspects of spirit. And yes, it's from our perception, but to be able to convey messages on all different levels. So sometimes you guys pay attention because I'll have crystal readings where you guys have to pick out crystals and I read from them. I will do past life readings. God, I got all sorts of different forms of readings. We're going to have a show coming up I'm going to do of runes. So I'm going to do runes readings. Cannot wait for that one. That might even be next week. Let me know in the comments if you guys are into that. Runes, understanding the history of them and then doing readings from them. I don't just read cards and I don't just talk to the dead. I do it all. And that makes it so that I can bring something different to every single one of your readings. Speaking of different, Sheena Dawn. First thing that I noted is after I pulled the card out, it's the Four of Roses, Views of the Ego. Roses, roses, roses. So I don't know if you have a connection to roses. If not, you need to start paying attention to them. And the page number of the card is 143. And for those of you that are in your 40s, like myself, if you remember when we had those things called pagers, right, you guys? Hello. And you would type that out from the phone to your boyfriend or girlfriend or even just your friends, maybe mom, 143, I love you. It's about self-love. It's about connection. It's something you're still working on in this life, right? Now, they haven't taken me directly into a past life because what's happening is that this has been a trickle down effect and that they want you to know you can break the pattern now so that you don't have to do this again. So I love how spirit works with me because this is more of, again, a future part of it for you. But they are talking about the give and take, and it always has been unfair. And every time I look at it, or if you guys can't see me, but I'm over here like underlining it like crazy, is because this anger starts to fuel up. And I feel like I'm on like a Looney Tunes show where Porky the Pig all of a sudden turns red from like his feet all the way up and like his ears want to explode out, right? Because he can't get Bugs Bunny. That's how I feel for you, is that you boil inside. And what's interesting is, and I have to apologize live to Jacob, is that all of a sudden I was trying not to constantly burp because I could feel the bubbling and the turning in my solar plexus, which is right in my stomach area. And that's that excess energy of you just holding back what really needs to come out. It is talking about someone in your inner circle is, in a sense, kind of using your energy, is not on the up and up with you, is not in alignment with where your energy is trying to go. And what I actually see in a past life is that it's almost like, I don't want to scare you guys because I do these mini ones. We would get more into it in a personal one-on-one reading, but like you are chained, not in a literal sense, okay? So I need to make that clear, but to someone else in that respect, and to ideals, and to, got it. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes I pause, you guys. I know it's radio and we're live, and I'm trying not to do that because your team has so much to say. But it's feeling like you have traveled. Okay. This is what I need to know. Have you felt like you've traveled the same path with someone in your life and that you're like on repeat or like a rerun of sorts, or like you met them and you're like, gosh, I can't put my finger on why. And now you're understanding why, is that you're not being used, but your energy is being taken from you. And it's because you need to go back into this life and snip these chains of attachment. And I think it's the attachment that people put on you, because they're actually showing multiple places where you've just got these chains that are weighing you down. And they're allowing you to know now and expressing how they want you to be able to go in. I want you to quiet your mind. I want you to go into what they're showing me is a place a long time ago with rolling fields. There's no buildings. I don't even hear animals. It's just dead quiet. And you are sitting in this field just weighed down by all of this energy. And they want you to call in Archangel Michael. They want you to call in your spirit team, and they want you to get those big bolt cutters, right? And they want you just to start trimming all of these layers off of you. Because you are such an open and honest person, you give with your heart, you can't figure out why you're not moving to that next level. It's because you're still being weighed down from way back when. You are definitely one that has been around for a very, very long time. And this energy keeps you from actually ballooning up, because the way they showed it to me in the end was you holding on to one balloon. And you are soaring up and you are connecting on that level. And that's what they're talking about for you, is that it's time for you to bolt cut, physically watch yourself do it in this meditation and start releasing. Now, that doesn't mean you'll never speak to these people again. It just means that it's time for you to let go of their energy. And you guys will hear me talk about that. But again, this is like such heaviness, I want to say that you probably didn't even really have a home. You guys kind of lived within the land and ate off of the land. I am feeling a very Native American presence around you, both in this life and in the past life. So I think that you were probably, in that specific culture. And that everybody you were the worker. You were male in that past life. People just had such, you're going to do this and you're going to do that and you're going to provide, and you were the strong one. And so everyone did come to you, and it just wore you down to the point where you just started to kind of wither and shrink and lose weight, and just you went within. And I feel though that you did pass at a fairly young age as well, but it was only because you just couldn't keep up with everybody else's expectations, and how this has played a cycle in some of your lives. Not all. And remember, you guys, we don't choose to repeat those lessons until we master them. I don't feel that way. I do feel that we're like, give me a few lessons and then let me come back to that one. So that is definitely how that goes in that part of it for you. But it's time to let these people go energetically And I guarantee you, when you do that, they will start to back away from you and just kind of dissolve over here and allow you to have your space and regain your power. And I'm going to leave you with that. Whew, that was a big one. Also, you guys, again, make sure it resonates with you. Make sure that you are vibing with it. For me, I've learned from my spirit team how to use modern day modalities to work it into the past life reading. So like I said, I have different things that I use even in past life readings because I've set the intention and it's all about energy. When we understand how that works, we can jump time and space. So that's what's happening. And that's why you guys will hear me pause. And it's not probably the most exciting call for you or radio show for you today when I kind of pause, but there is so much information being thrown at me because I have jumped from present time over to that past life. They bring me back into here, how it's affecting the future, back into present day, into your energy to get more details, to then jump back into the past in order to get more clarity of who you were, to give you a little bit more of that content, if you will. So with that being said, let's jump over to Angela Deskins. I have a card for you. It is the diversity card, okay? And that is already telling me that we need you to step back. We need you to be the observer as opposed to the, what is the word they're using? The overachiever. Sometimes when we get lost in that overachiever mode, we miss the diversity coming in for us. This talks about, with this card, it's time to diversify. There are many options for you to consider. You should take a look at them all. Allow yourself to try new things, go new places, learn new subjects, break out of your routine. And so the thing for me is I'm going to show you this card because this is very much what they were showing me as I was shuffling, is this woman standing on this, balcony. And it's all about learning one thing, one track, one way. And I'm wondering if in this life, have you noticed that you try and stay in that type A personality? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm a Virgo. I completely get that. But it's about deviation. It's about bringing new energy into you. It's about taking risks and finding the challenges and overcoming them. With this particular energy and this particular card coming up for you, I feel like you were a wealth of knowledge as you are today. And I think that, you knew a lot of fun facts and that you could hold conversations back in this time. Very proper time for you as well. Very much a space of just, you were proud. And I love that. And you didn't let anybody take any of that away from you, but it also became a very lonely space because you were so into that. And so that's why they're saying, find that diversity, find the things that scare you, find the things that intrigue you, learn about those things, grasp them, take them in. I don't want to say go skydiving, please, but they want you to do something fun, something different, maybe a zip line if you haven't already. If you find yourself that you are drawn and you have been doing those things in your life, it's because you're breaking out of those old patterns from that past life and you are exploring and you're opening up and you're blossoming. They're also reminding you that this life isn't even close to being over for you and you need to keep pushing forward and you need to keep bringing that in. I'm seeing kids, so I don't know if you have kids or grandkids or what's going on with the kids part, but in that life, you chose the academia, I think I just said that right. I'm channeling as well, versus the family life. And you didn't have time for that. And now it's opening your heart and allowing yourself to find the self-love to then extend out to others as well. So that is their tip for you. I don't want to say advice because that's not right. You're from your spirit team of what you're working through this life. You guys, I have to take a quick break. This is not going to be a long one. I just need to wet my palate. You know what? Let's do Kelly Sanders. I'm going to have you up next after the break, and I probably have got time for one or two more of you. So let's just do some past life readings, right? Let's get into it. Let me take this quick break, and I will see you in just about a minute.
You've been listening, but are you watching? Tune in to your favorite shows on the Transformation Talk Radio Facebook page. We stream live video podcasts every day.
Tune into 3 Things I've Learned with Susan Dolce every first and third Tuesday of the month at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. Join Susan and her guests as they share the stories that shift our souls about radical transformations, courageous breakthroughs, and life lessons. 3 Things I've Learned with Susan Dolce. For more information, go to transformationtalkradio.com or visit Susan's website at susandolce.com.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. I am Psychic Medium Jaime with Eye of Soul Radio. Kelly, because of the short break, I tuned into your team real quick and am still shuffling, so you're going to get a card right from the deck. But no, you guys remember that every aspect of our spirit lives has to do with learning, evolution, and growth. And that is the key to our spiritual evolution. I'm so excited. I cannot announce it yet because I still have one more meeting to go, but I have something very big up and coming as well. And I know it's because I've been put in this place to be able to pass that word along. I know in numerology that I'm a life path 9, which is about the spiritual ascension, spiritual awareness, connecting on the intuition, teaching, learning, growing, helping, healing. And then I get to choose whether I want to come back again and do this all over, or take a break, go somewhere else, right? I don't think the Earth is the only place that we get sent to learn and grow. But if you ask me about 5D and aliens and other planets, I don't have a lot of answers for you because that's not in my wheelhouse. But we are here to grow and learn and evolve. So the evolution of mankind is also the evolution of our spirit. It's a very interesting way of putting those two together and being able to connect. And being able to be gifted in the aspect of being able to be open and receiving to the information. I don't second guess my readings. I give you the information and we go with it. And that's why, I appreciate that you guys are saying, that this resonates with you and you're vibing with it. That's the key to this, is vibing with it. So Kelly, this is where we're at with you. Will, wisdom, and mind. Oh my gosh, that is a fantastic card. Moving into your energy and just seeing your name and like on my little chat box screen here, and they had me write your name down. I already came into a part of your past life to where, and this is really cool because usually I just get life lessons. And this is a life lesson for you, but it is of some sort of royalty. It is some sort of king. And I can say that with all confidence because I can see the robes from behind. I'm waving at my son. You guys, it's multitasking. It's called being a mother of 3. It's called running a radio show, your own business. Sometimes you just got to take that minute to wave at your son who's about to leave. But anyway, for you, Kelly, it's about, I see the old school, like royal crown, if you will. It's tall. It does have kind of that velvet texture and like the pins or whatever you call those push pin things in them. I'm obviously not a seamstress. I only see the back of you, which tells me that you were very high up in this, that this is definitely an order of many years of generations taking it. And that also people do see you in that light as well. A teacher, if you will, and having the wisdom and knowledge and imparting it on others. The thing that gets me is, I don't even need to look at the book. We're just going to go straight into this, is that when they're looking at you from behind, it means that there is some type of energy around you, within you. I don't think that it's like, okay, what they're showing me is sometimes people wouldn't want to show you their face because maybe they have, a scarring, or maybe they have a birthmark, or they had an accident, they've got a scar, or a burn. It's nothing like that. It's just the fact that based on decisions that you made in this life as the king, you were not proud of the fact that sometimes it took lives. You weren't proud of the fact that you had to take, and this was so long ago where they would just go into villages and take, boys anywhere from age, 12 to 18 and on out of their homes to train and fight for their government. That's what they're showing me. And so you could not look your people in the eye. And in this life, you have learned a lot about turning that around and imparting your wisdom and your will on others and getting them to join you in this cause. So I don't know if you have causes that you really back and that you are supporting. I feel like you definitely are someone who stands on her own 2 feet, speaks her mind. And so what you are doing is you are already in the present day learning from hundreds and hundreds of years back as being this royal king and healing on that level. You've done a lot of inner healing. They're wrapping you in green throughout different lifetimes. So I've done hypnotherapy training. It's like a past life regression. So I see you on this end, and it's actually looping through different lives to get to hear of that healing and of that self-forgiveness, right? You were just doing what that life was meant to be, and that was to protect your people. And you thought you were doing it in the right, but now what you're doing is you're protecting your people in the right, in the know, with the wisdom that you have. And being able to carry that forward, which is such a beautiful process for you, and to continue that evolution. If you aren't a teacher, you should have been a teacher. You are a teacher in different aspects, though, which is a beautiful process as well, because you are able to impart your wisdom from centuries ago into the here and now, and that you are definitely vibing with that old energy as well. And you definitely have a very strong masculine side. And I think it does come from, you've been men, we've all been men, women, in our lives, but your soul tribe as well feels different for you this life. So I don't know if you have just felt that it's not like as warming as some. I'm not saying that it's bad or anything, but like, we just know, like, I know that I've been traveling with my family for a really long time, and it's about to stop. This is going to be it for me. We're learning our lessons here and now. We might come back in a different life, but we're not doing this rodeo again. But I feel like you definitely have displaced yourself in order to learn new lessons this time around. So keep imparting your wisdom on others, keep people strong, but please take care of yourself. They are showing your heart chakra in this life and making sure you keep that strong, make sure you keep that energy cleared out, that you're grounding and you're shielding yourself, because you're very empathic as well. And so you can have a tendency to get run down, and they just don't want that to happen for everything that's up and coming for your future. And I'm going to leave you with that, Kelly. Whew. That gave me the chills. Okay, let's do Madeline. I'm just going to stick with one deck tonight. This is awesome. So when we are in this zone, when we're in this learning, right, and this growing and evolving, take it, run with it. And what you can also do is you can write yourself in the past life a letter. So if you just feel like there's been a disconnect or barriers, what we can do is we can call in our spirit team. We urge you to do this every day anyway, but just have a moment like, okay, so Friday at 3:00, I'm going to sit down and meditate. I'm calling in my spirit team, and I'm calling in my past life guides that are still out there. Now, of course, our spirit guides will evolve and grow. They may be back as a human. They might be someone else's guide. But when we go into the past, so let me give you this example as I shuffle your card, Madeline. Oh, I love it. Kelly says, this completely resonates. I have a masculine side too. Fabulous. Thank you for the validation. I really appreciate that. But when we were in Sedona this past summer, we met with a shaman, and it was a truly beautiful experience. It was just 2, Spirit Walker Nicole and myself from Shades of Spirit, and then the shaman. COVID friendly, of course, everyone. Being safe is our number one priority. But we got to walk the labyrinth. And so I'm going to urge you guys to find a labyrinth around you. You guys have heard me talk about this on the Shades of Spirit show. But I want you to go in with the intention of connecting with your past, meaning past lives, past history in this life, any and all that has to do with your past. And when I stepped foot into this labyrinth, I immediately said, I'm calling in all of my past guides who can help me here and now, and to be able to understand what it is that I'm supposed to be learning and moving forward with. And I walked into the labyrinth till I came to the middle. And then we sat on a bench, and that was the present. So then I invited my present guide and angels to sit with me, and my past life guides and angels. Our angels stick with us all of our lifetimes, but all of you to join together. And then walking out, she says, is your future. Follow that path. So then I called future guides in to walk with us on that path. And I get the chills now just connecting back with that energy, because it is so flippin' powerful, you guys. So powerful. Now, what's interesting is that I still to this day cannot see my future guides. Why? Because they're in front of me. That makes sense. They're not ready to turn around and join me because we're not on that present path yet. but I actually had some really profound dreams. So if you guys are looking for dream recall, please call in the Seraphim Angels. They are there to help you with dream recall. They are also there to help heal with music. So you could turn some music on and call them in before you go to bed and start working on the past lives that you want to work on yourself. But that's one tip for you guys. If you don't have a labyrinth, then just walk in that process. Find a big open space and just follow it around, move to the left, come back to a center, and come back out the right and feel that flow. All right, Madeline, I've got 3 minutes left. I can do this for you. Let's get into it. So for Madeline, ding. Oh, Madeline, I see you as a baby. That's new for me. That's intriguing. And it is some sort of bassinet type thing. So I'm not going too far back because this looks a little more modern. Interesting. You had a twin. So I don't know if you feel a connection or a disconnect, if you will, within yourself. But that twin has followed you into this life. You guys use each other as guides, but in the process of birth, this twin had passed. The card for you was the moon. So it's about connecting with that dark energy within. It's about moving that energy out. You always knew in this life that you had another half that was missing. And so you felt alone at times. You would go inward at times. You would disconnect. And I feel like you do carry a little bit of that in this life. You've got to tap in. And I know you're creative. Tap into that creative outlet. Allow yourself to work through that energy. I think it was music for you. So write the song. Write a healing song, or just find play a song, something along those lines, in order to process that grief that you experienced through this life. This life was actually a fairly long life for you, of learning how to live in that shadow of death. And I know that sounds completely morbid, you guys, but I have read Madeline before, so I know I'm not a new person and I'm trying to scare you. But living in the shadow of death, meaning that even if you were a twin in this life, if you had lost someone, or you've lost a sibling that was very close, or someone like that, we have a tendency to live in the shadow of death. And they want you to not do that. They want you to find your whole self and live in the moment and find that healing ability within in order to move forward. And I'm going to leave you with that, Madeline. You guys, you can find me on shadesofspirit.com, Shades of Spirit LLC. Join us every Sunday, 5 p.m. on YouTube. We only do this on YouTube. It's the Fierce Four. It's our Shades of Spirit Roundtable. This week, this Sunday, 5 p.m., bring your crystals and join Spirit Walker Nicole and I in teaching you how to make crystal grids and connect with crystal energy. I have a mystical tea party. You can see that on Shades of Spirit LLC. If you are in the San Diego or Riverside County area, it's my first live event. Thank goodness, April 17th. Otherwise, book me for a reading. You can do that as well. I've got my special going. I do past life readings. You guys, I can't wait. I will be on, I believe it's next Tuesday at 11 a.m. And then we've got Shades on Wednesday and I Soul on Thursday. So you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you later. Thank you for listening in on Eye of Soul Radio on TransformationTalkRadio.com with me, Psychic Medium Jaime. Return here next time so you can explore more of the lower level energies, realms, or dimensions. We will go through more darker spirit stories and provide more guidance and self-growth to those who need it. For more information about me, Psychic Medium Jaime, and the Eye of Soul, visit eyeofsoulradio.com. That's eyeofsoulradio.com. Eye of Soul Radio only on TransformationTalkRadio.com. See you next time.
Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.